Hello lovely people, welcome to Pro-Am Strings. I'm Henriette and this is lesson 28 called Courage. You know that we're coming towards the end of this mindfulness course, and whilst we have been trying to relax throughout this whole course, today we're going to have some courage and putting some tension back in because we're practicing Martelé today. And Martelé, as you may know, is one of the staccato bow strokes. And this bow stroke is created by releasing tension. Now, if you want to release tension, you need to build up tension first. And this is why I'm calling this lesson Courage, because let's see if we can add some tension. And you can see that I have no violin at the moment. So what I want you to do, if you're joining in with me and you have your violin in your hand, just put it away for a moment, and in a minute we will pick it back up again. And I want you to try and create as much tension in all of your body as you possibly can. So I'm going to really squeeze my muscles. I'm tensing my legs. I'm really tensing my buttocks, my tummy, my arms, my neck, everything. And then I'm going to suddenly release it. And this is, of course, what we're all on about, because we want to find out what that release feels like. So shall we just practice that again? Hold your breath this time, which is completely different from what I've been telling you throughout this course. Hold on to your breath. Here we go. Let's put as much tension in your body as you possibly can. So I'm going to squeeze everything. I'm holding my breath. I'm squeezing my neck and my shoulders. Everything is tight. And now let go. And I want you to feel that release. Can you feel it? Shall we do that once again? And this time we're going to focus on our hands, and I want you to make some fists and really squeeze those hands. Here we go. Squeeze it as hard as you can. And now let go. Feel your fingers. Feel your wrists being really, really floppy. You might sort of open and close your fingers because this is what we're going to be using in Martelé. So let's pick up your bow, but only your bow. And when you hold the bow, hold it as softly as you possibly can. So find your best ever bow hold with a nice bent thumb, with your middle finger precisely opposite your thumb, your finger softly and gently over the bow like this. And I want you to feel that this is super soft. And I could just take the bow out of my hand like this, you see. So it's just resting there, but it's not actually holding. I would drop the bow if I let it go, you see. Now this time, let's squeeze it as hard as we can. So really get that squeezing idea going again. And now relax it and feel how loose it is. And you might try this. Give your hand a good shake so that it gets back into its relaxed state now. And then we'll practice it one more time. So find that nice bow hold, but very, very soft. I'm not squeezing the bow at all. Not yet, anyway. Let's squeeze it now as hard as you can. Really feel that tension in your joints here, in your fingers, in the ball of your thumb right here. Maybe also in your arm and in your shoulder. So squeeze it as hard as you can and then feel that relaxation. That's awesome. Well done. Give your arm a good rest now. Swing it so that it gets to relax completely again. And then we'll pick up your violin. Okay, now when you've got your violin and your bow, take a quick look at your bow now. And we know that the bow has got some flexibility. And we're going to use this to squeeze the bow into the string. I'm going to place the bow on the string where the stick and the hair are closest together. That varies a little bit from bow to bow. My bow is right here, so that's where I'm going to put my bow onto the D string. And I really want you to try now to squeeze that bow into the string, finding that tension in your hand. And now I want you to find the tension in your shoulder, but I want you to push it down. Can you see? And now release. And let's practice that a few more times. Really squeeze it so that the stick touches the hair of the bow, But what I'd like you to feel is not only squeeze it here, but hang off the string from your shoulder. And this is what we've practiced in the past, isn't it? So let's do that again. Hang off the string and squeeze it with your hand. So all of this squeeze comes from here, it goes through my arm and into my hand, and that sort of finishes it off, doesn't it? My fingers squeeze as well, but the whole tension comes from my whole arm. Practice that a few more times. So squeeze, release. Feel the looseness. Squeeze and release. And again, squeeze. Can you see the stick touching the hair? There we go. Super. And again, we're coming back to this loose right arm. So you might feel it a little bit. Okay, so before we carry on, make sure that your arm is really nice and relaxed. All right, here we go. Here comes our real Martelé practice then. Now when we play our Martelé bow stroke, it's a bow stroke that's played on the upper half of the bow. So let's find that same bow position, so where the stick and the hair are closest together, and let's squeeze it into the string. And now as you start to make a down bow, release it. So you want to do two things at the same time now. Let go of that tension that we've just practiced, and now start to play a down bow exactly at the same time. And when you hit the end of your bow stroke, put the squeeze back on. That's what a Martelé bow stroke in slow motion is like. So let's do the same thing now. We're squeezing, but now we're at the point of the bow. And now I want you to release the tension, but play an up bow towards that point where we started a bow stroke ago. Here we go. And let go. And put the pressure back on. Let's do that again. Very, very slowly. So it's tense now. Can you see that? Let go and play a down bow. And. Well done. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you did a couple of bow strokes in a row just now, each of the bow strokes got a little kick. In a moment we'll practice it again, and I want you to listen out for that kick, so you really hear what I always call the letter K. K, k, k. And that is when you release the tension and your bow starts to flow, and then you put the tension back on. Now you have to be very good at releasing that tension suddenly, and this is why we have practiced going from here, oof, and then letting go, you see. So if you can experience that with your whole body, you're more likely to experience that with your bow hand as well. Shall we play that again? Let's start at the point of the bow again, where the stick and the hair are the closest together. And at the moment it's still loose, I'm not squeezing it, but now I'm going to put the squeeze back on. Okay, and suddenly release it. Listen out for the kick. Amazing. And you'll find that as you progress with this, you get your timing better and better, because it doesn't matter today if it's still sounding like this. You see, it just means that my release is not quick enough. I'm already bowing whilst I'm still releasing. So your timing will get better over time, so that you suddenly release and suddenly start bowing. You see, this wouldn't be a mindfulness course if we weren't going to go back to our feet now, and I want you to find that comfortable stance, whether that is feet hip width apart or whether you prefer to play with your left foot forward. Find that grounding through the soles of your feet into the floor again, and then let's build up from the floor upwards. So feel your knees being loose, make sure there's no tension in your legs at all. Now we're going further back up our bodies. Tilt your pelvis, straighten your spine, really lift up through your torso, Try to raise your chest so you come up through your upper body and lengthen your neck. And you'll find that if we have a good grounding like we have now, your Martelé bow stroke will become crisper because it's much easier to squeeze and release whilst your body's in a good position. So let's do the exact same exercise. We're starting at the narrowest point between the stick and the hair. Still, I'm really relaxed. Okay, when you're ready, squeeze your bow and let go. Squeeze your bow and let go. Listen out for that kick. Stay upright though. Be careful that you don't fold forwards like that. Are you ready? Really make yourself really tall. And that is awesome playing. Well done you, really good practice. Now in your piece you may not have as much time as we take now to work on this technique, and therefore I'd recommend that you practice this technique away from your pieces. When you do that, you've got a bit more time, like we're taking our time today to develop this bow stroke. But then when you're in the heat of your playing, you will put it in, you can think back, how did that feel when I was practicing it separately, you see? And that is where your progress is going to translate into progress into your pieces. So practice this calmly and away from your pieces, and then eventually you'll just notice. One day you think, did I just do that? Was that really nice and crisp Martelé bow stroke? That's where you'll feel the results. A super lesson today, well done. So why not write a comment down in the comment section below this video to let us know how this was for you. And it's really nice for everyone else following this course to read how other people are doing. And if you've not already subscribed to this channel, you can do so now. Click that red button and I look forward to seeing you in lesson 29. Goodbye.